What to watch a top couple for Tuesday? Who's this Jimmy? Who are you talking about? Jimmy something? Jimmy Witherspoon? Nobody knew who he was.
Lewis.
Jimmy.
Who's this Jimmy? Jimmy?
Lewis.
Jimmy.
Who's this Jimmy?
Jimmy
Who's
Lewis.
this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Who's this Jimmy?
Jimmy Lewis. just kept on going.
Live from Pahrump, Nevada, the Valley of the Dirt People, it's Tech Talk, Taco Tuesday, with your hosts, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler.
Okay, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, because it's Tuesday. My name is Jimmy Lewis. This is episode number 271. You're Nolan Kate. You're kind of like Logan used to be. You're sitting in a seat of greatness. You have no idea how many people have participated in the show, ditched out and gone on to greatness. But you're not Logan. Just want you to know that. So I got a compliment on my hat already. Some guy named Ricky, Brabeck? Ricky Brabeck. Brabeck commented on my hat. Thanks, Rick. That's a nice hat. I got this hat supporting Ricky. Good to see him. I'm surprised he didn't submit a bike for Roosterendo. He usually does, especially when he has stuff for sale. It seems like it comes up. We have an exciting segment called Roosterendo on the show, if you don't know. But this is the show where we collectively try to answer your motorcycle and motorcycle product-related questions without referring to a reference manual. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Nolan is here to help me. He will read the questions so I can think and push buttons, because this show is all about pushing buttons, and whether I'm pushing your buttons to try to trigger you, or I'm pushing my buttons because they're easy to push and I can get triggered. But tonight we have a very special guest. Do you know who the guest is?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Do you want to announce? Did you read his resume over there?
I did not.
You did not. Okay, you got to talk into that microphone like you mean it, because you're whispering at it. So just, kind of let it. I'm hoping that. Go ahead and talk into it again. I'm gonna make sure that.
Hello.
I can hear you. What about? How's that work now? Better? You have to say something.
Hello.
Hello.
You
Okay.
hear me?
I can kind of hear you a little bit. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to turn you down so you talk louder. Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah, that's way better.
You're in a muzzle room. Anyways, our guest on the show tonight is none other than Tim Morton of Baja Bound. Say hi, Tim. Oh, wait. I know. Here, well, I told you, you're supposed to tell me to unmute his video. Say hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, good. Tim Morton of Baja Bound. How you doing tonight, Tim?
We're doing all right. Got a lot of work to do. Let's get the show on the road.
Get the show on the road. Okay, the reason I have Tim Morton on the show is because I just got back from Baja, and Tim just got back from Baja. Separate trips, separate things. And if you are ever thinking about going Baja or going on a long ride, and Tim runs a tour company called Baja Bound Moto, and he was one of the very original Baja tour guides. I remember when he stopped his job. He was working at a Chirby's at the time, and he stopped his job to become a tour guide. I thought, what a stupid idea that is. And he probably thinks I'm right now. But he made a really good tour company, a really good living doing this. So Tim probably has. Do you have more miles than anybody in Baja, Tim?
I don't know. There's a couple more, maybe Oscar, Hale. Yeah, probably.
So Tim does a lot of riding down there, and why we're having an echo. I'm not sure when he talks. Did you hear a little bit of an echo?
Yeah,
we're gonna try to get you to unecho. So, is your audio on your computer?
You have to ask my boss.
Okay, let me try one other thing. So, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
And still echoey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're trying some different things on my end here. I'll keep doing that. JB Black, some guy named JB Black says it's a pronounced chair bees. Just in case anybody, it's spelled ACERBEES. BIS. I can't spell anymore. I used to be a magazine editor. I used to have to edit people's stuff. I can't even do this. So, Mark Daniel says, Morto Buenas Noche. He's saying hi.
Indeed.
Yeah, we got to figure out. We got to figure out your audio a little bit here. So tell us what you've been up to, Tim.
What have I been up to? Riding Baja, messing with race cars, playing with some dirt bikes, building some race bikes for guys. Attempting to learn this technology stuff, which I'm not really good at. I'm pretty surprised at what you just did this evening because I have no idea what you were doing.
Wait, because you think I'm dumb, right?
Well, you and I are pretty similar, I thought.
Okay, good. Then you know I'm dumb. Good thing I made a living racing motorcycles, huh?
And I wasn't fast enough to make a living racing them, so I decided to ride them.
Yeah, that's
I
know how that happens. Hey, Denise Mitchell says, "Nice hat, Tim Morton." What's Tim's hat? I can't see it because he's on a little tiny small screen. There we go. Let me hold on 1 second. I got it. There we go. Electrotech. What is it's not one of my sponsors.
They could be.
Hey, did you go on your social medias and promote this show and tell everybody to tune in tonight? Did you do that for us?
My department says yes, we did.
Okay, good. Because I'm glad that you did that. Because usually you're the first guy to leave a bad comment, like when you get pissed off about some post in a forum. I've heard, but I don't do those kind of things.
You don't leave bad comments, just the truth.
Yeah,
People don't
Electrotech. Yeah, well, no, I didn't say bad. Did I say bad comments?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, you get riled up. I would just say you tend to get riled up. But anyway, so if you're out there and you're listening to this show, one of the 36 million people that are watching this show right now, because it could break the internet. That's what scares me, is that I'm going to be responsible for breaking the internet. But if you are there and you have a question for myself, for Nolan, or for Tim Morton, who is live here to answer your question, especially about like prepping your bike or getting it ready for a long ride or a race. Don't you guys, Tim, have a 100% finishing record pretty much for your racers or something like that? How does that, you have a really good finishing record, correct?
Very good. I think we started doing race rentals besides the stuff I did, came with you also at times. Not counting any of that stuff, we've done probably around 70 arrive and ride race rentals. We've had on our bikes 100% finish rate, and just recently, but not our bike, we had a DNF.
So you didn't prep the bike?
No, but correct. And it was kind of a few errors in a row that added up to not being able to finish at the last Baja 1000 for our rider.
Yeah. And those races are just plain tough to finish these days anyways, because they're just so beat.
Yeah, it's some beat up shit now. You know that. It's that's why things like Nora, we get to ride some good terrain, not just the hooped out car group shit. And man, it's definitely different back when you and I raced, or Johnny, or a lot of the guys who were, of course, before us. Man, it's a different animal now.
And for those people that don't know, Tim was my first partner in Baja. Tim talked me into going and racing in Baja, because I think I had a free motorcycle, right?
Well, yeah, you got off a pretty slow bike, but it gave me a lot of opportunity to stop and talk to people along the way. But
that's how you started. I tell the story. That's how you started your damn tour company, he's like, we got to put the headlight on early. I'm never going to get out of this section without in the dark. And I go, Tim, you're going to come out and there's going to be 2 hours of light. And sure enough, Tim rolled in like 30 minutes after dark. And I'm like, how did you take so long in there? Well, because he started picking up every other guy that didn't have a headlight and was like, hey, ride with me and you can use my light because we're not going to make it out of here before dark.
That's how we paid for our race.
Yeah, he started his tour company. Oh, wait, paid for our race.
Yeah, we collected from all those. But so we rode, what did we do? We rode a KTM 125 that race.
Yes.
And so your second Baja race, your first Baja race with me, your second Baja race with you stepped it up a little bit, rode with Danny Hamill, as I recall, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Not a bad partner, I guess.
Sorry.
I just used you as a launching pad. Still to this day, Tim. I just constantly use you. So hey, there's a couple questions coming in. We like to answer the questions right when they come in. Jeremy Stroher has a question. What does it say? Go ahead, Nolan. This is your cue.
He says, Jim, please discuss your Husaberg experience.
Jim, would that be me? Because the Jim was my dad, so I'm Jimmy. So Jimmy, because I think that's who he's talking to. Jeremy, I'm just joking, but yes. Discuss my Husaberg experience. I should have rode a Husaberg today, Nolan, because you know how much freaking power that thing has? Like when you twist the throttle on one of those things, you never get to the end. And if you do, you're going like you're doing shit you see on Star Trek, okay? Jim, thank you. Jeremy, thank you for thank you for your question. Kickstart Curtis has something to say. Kickstart Crisis. Yeah.
Tim doesn't give bad comments. He just gives real talk, and some people can't handle it.
Whoa. Do you got your mob of trolls following us on this show tonight, Tim?
No, but those two hombres were good guys. They came riding in Baja with me last year, I think it was, and they have a long-term goal of racing in Baja, and they're working towards it. So,
are you steering them towards Nora? Just giving them the Nora nudge?
Oh, of course. But
and not to toot my own stinking horn here, but like if you want to just like you should just lie to people because if you want to do the Baja 1000, you might as well just lay your hands on the table, let somebody hit it with a ball peen hammer, and then just have somebody kick you in the balls a few times, and then just maybe drive over you with a truck, and then you'll kind of feel the same as after you did the Baja 1000, and you don't have to ride any of those hoops. In crap and rocks and ruts and I keep saying this all the time. Just such a go do something fun. Go do Nora. You're going to do 6 days. You're going to do the entire peninsula. You're going to get more than 1,000 miles, and you can say, "Yeah, I did the Baja 1000." You can just because nobody knows outside of our little circle of people that think it's a big deal. So that's what I said.
Well, the Crisis guys are I believe they're from Colorado. We tried to throw them under the bus and show them a little bit about what it's like down there, San Felipe, some other torn up areas. And if they still have it in their blood, they're still working on it. They're getting more practice, doing some events in Colorado. But someday we'll see them. Maybe at Nora, maybe it's Cora. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I mean, to do the Baja 1000, the score Baja 1000 is a prestige thing. It's just to say, I mean, I think after you ride the course, you just realize it's like going and running an ultra marathon, something that I guess I do know something about that. It's really stupid. And everybody that you tell you did goes, that was really stupid. And I think anybody that asks you to do the Baja 1000, anybody that knows about it, go, well, that's really stupid, but at least you did it, I guess. I don't know what else you're going to get out of it except for punished. Let's see. Jeremy Stroher has another question.
He says, my collection is first generation, 89 to 93. The Slinger motor, Yamaha 400F's Wish. Thanks from Crowley Lake.
Okay, Jeremy. So, yeah. So he has bikes that are So mine are like hand grenades. Like his are hand grenades with the clips pulled out of them. He's talking about his Husabergs. And they're super hard to get parts for. They were, like I said, that's what these other manufacturers were shooting for. Husaberg was building these 4-strokes that were just insane. And I remember seeing one at the 1989 6 Days in Germany, of all things. And I'm like, it looked like a factory Honda 2-stroke back in the day with that low slung gas tank. And it was kind of like they were works of art. They had to have a fuel pump to pump the gas up the carburetor and all this crazy stuff, but it was a 4-stroke. It was so cool. And they had a 350. I raced against the guy in my class, Thomas Gustafsson, was riding a Husaberg 350, and I had a XR 280 air cooled thing. What does Denise want to know?
She says, to Tim and Jimmy, what is your best factory BMW story?
Here we go. Tim, you want to start?
I guess best would be the paychecks. It was pretty entertaining riding that bike, talking about how fast the Husabergs were. The BMW, I've never ridden really street bikes, but the BMW was insane how fast it would go. And you could hear it coming miles away, but not from the exhaust, or it would be the tire noise. And at night, I had one of those thousands we did. I thought this is the only place I could possibly get this wide open, which I was wrong. And I looked down, it was about 1 a.m. I looked down, it was a safe section, dead straight gravel road, fences both sides, no cattle. And I looked down and I took the number, I did the math later because it was those funny numbers. And
Kilometers.
I came up with about 118, and I went, and I twisted a little bit further, and all it did was lose traction and try to go faster. And I thought, that's enough. We're in 8th place. We don't need to go faster. We'll slow down.
Yeah. So what Tim's talking about is in 2004 or 3, somewhere around there.
4, 5, and 6, I think.
4, 5, and 6. Okay, so BMW is developing the HP2, which is kind of like a competition of the KTM 950 Super Enduro. The HP2 is a twin-cylinder, 1200cc enduro bike, is what they like to call it. And so when I start talking about Husaberg power, we're talking about single-cylinder power. BMW, this is flat twin, parallel twin, 2-cylinder, and it had ridiculous power. But it was also quite heavy. It was a big bike, and it was a derivative of the rally bike that I raced. And so BMW, they wanted to prove this bike, and so they sent us down to Baja to race it, and we actually called it the Baja Boxer. And we had shirts made, and we had and nobody knew that this was an official BMW project. We just pretended like we made it in our garage. And since I had been a rally guy, and I knew that they figured that I worked with some guys, maybe the HPN guys or something, and we built this kind of crazy thing. We raced it in the Baja 1000 in Vegas to Reno that year without telling anybody what it was, and people would come and look at it, and it was kind of hand built, and the plastic was rapid printed, and it was kind of wild, the whole backstory behind it, to keep it kind of undercover. And we were, they were sending us different frames to test, and so the first year we rode a full production version. It was basically it was off the production line the way the bike was going to be sold, but it was it black back then, Tim?
Well, in 04, I think the first 2, maybe 3 races, Vegas to Reno 1000, I think. You and Dave rode it at Vegas to Reno.
I rode it with Todd Shakwa.
Oh, with Todd?
In Vegas to Reno, yeah.
And then the 1000, I think, was you and I and Jonah, or you and I and Dave. I don't really remember. But I think you had put an XR400 rear fender white on it, and you painted it black. And you put a YZ front fender on it and painted it black. And I don't remember, I think everything that said BMW was painted over.
Right. Yeah. So we put fenders on it because the fenders were that rapid prototype stuff, and they would break off. They were it looked more like a beak than a fender, the way it was, and they weren't. I mean, I hadn't seen the full production one, but yeah, it had just the Naturbis fender on the front, but the interesting thing is we needed to have good headlights on it, and so we said, hey, can we put good headlights on it? We're going to weld in the frame, and they're like, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem as long as you know how to do. So we welded a headlight bracket on the frame and put a twin headlight on it, and because of that, we had to relocate the key. And so we moved the key from its original position over to a different spot, and that alarms there's a security feature in that key ring. So the key has a code in it, and it goes in the key ring, and it reads the code. It says okay, but if that key ring moves too far away from the ECU, it also triggers a code and only allows it to start a certain amount of times. And so that certain amount of times ended in San Ignacio.
Yep.
We shut the bike off to gas it and to put our headlights on, and bingo, bike won't start, and it's got some code. It was just flashing something in German on the computer. And we're like, what's this? And our German engineer guys were about 20 minutes behind in the truck or something. And they're like, they come up and they're like, oh, good, we caught you. And we're like, no, the bike won't start. And EWS is what it was called. EWS was the error. It's flashing. And he goes, I just remember it was what was his name? It wasn't Birdie. It was my suspension chassis guy. He just goes, oh, big shit. And so now they're calling Germany, trying to get a hold of somebody that knows this system, because they don't work with the production stuff. That much. They usually work with race bikes, but this was full production stuff. And they're like, I don't know, EWS. And then they're like, what did you do? And we told everything. And they're like, we disconnect the battery, connect it, and we're just bleeding time. We probably spent an hour and a half there? No more than that.
No, it was hours and hours, because you were going to give me the bike. I was further down, and by the time you sat phoned me and said, okay, we're on the road again, I had given it hours, and I said I was 10 minutes away from my first beer.
So we were, so anyways, the Germans go, it'll never run again. It's you've had too many key cycles. It needs to be reset by a BMW dealer. And we're like, well, what do we do? And they're like, you have to replace the entire wiring harness. And we actually had a production, a regular standard GS 1200 there. And the German guys goes, okay, we'll do it. And so they basically took the frame off of the motor, pulled the wiring harness off of this other bike, stripped it out. Same thing with our bike, put it on there. We turned the key on, started the bike. They wired the key on, and they said, don't stall, don't turn it off. It may never start again. Go. And so I rode off into the darkness. And we finished. Did you ever stall it?
No. Come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't stall it, but God, we were well ahead of the cars. We were running pretty far up, but now we were kind of back in a little bit of car dust, and it sucked, but we finished. We didn't do too bad, right?
No, not too horrible. One Baja 500, we were actually 8th bike across the finish line. Got a couple of speeding penalties, dropped us back to 9th or 10th, something like that. But that 1,000, yeah, we did decent.
Yeah. So good good stories. I think those are probably our two. But the next year we had a factory bike. Like they released a production bike, and then they sent over a really good reinforced frame, really special air shock that lasted at least 220 miles, right? And especially before the Mexican team would steal our spare air shock from us. Yeah, that bike was good because they did a little some motor tuning to it. You could just bang up shifts, and that one went fast. So, Billion Nelly 6114 says hello from Roxylvania, Valley of the Dirt People. Wait, Pahrump is Valley of the Dirt People. So, what is Kickstart Crisis? What's his question?
He says, hypothetically, if someone were to switch the goal from Score Baja 1000 to the Nora 1000, what would be the best way to learn rally navigation?
Sign up this year before the end of February, and you will get a free rally training class by yours truly. I'm actually giving. We're gonna do the online rally training course for anybody that signs up for Nora. Rally navigation is not that difficult. Have you done it yet? Have you done any true nav, or you just goofed around?
Just messed around.
You've seen us do it. You rode with me a whole day.
Yeah.
And learned it, but it's really not that hard. It's like kind of like a glorified dual sport ride. I hate to make it seem that easy. There's a lot of technique and training but just to do the navigation, to learn what you need to do to finish the Nora is nothing. The first day will be a struggle. The second day you'll come to grips with it, and by the third day you're going to go, hey, this is actually pretty cool. And I don't know I would say 85% of the people that try rally navigation really start to enjoy it. And Tim, my buddy Tim over here, has also done some rally. You did Nevada rallies.
I did the Nevada rally. What was that, 95? That was full road book. And I thought I had it dialed on the first day. And I saw some guy go in the opposite direction. I said, that guy don't know shit, because I know where I'm going. And that was Bruce Ogilvy. And I got really lost. And at the end of the day, Johnny said, you should know better. Just follow Bruce. And he was right.
Yeah. I mean, we'd been practicing, it was, there's a lot of, and then it's just like anything, you just practice it a little bit. And even with, if you do enter Nora early, we're going to give you a free subscription to Rally Navigator is another thing. So you can make your own road books. You can literally if you take the time to actually go in and make a road book, you're going to do Nora, Nolan?
When is it?
I don't know. End of March, end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should probably talk to Johnny about that. You should talk to your sponsor. You should borrow one of Preston's training bikes. Actually, you don't even need that. Just to have that bike you were riding today. Just slap. You saw what I was riding today.
Yeah.
So I was riding a bike that a friend of mine is going to buy for me and take and go with Tim. He's going to sign up for Tim's program. He's a friend from Hawaii, and he's going to go do Nora. And he's just doing turnkey package. It's gonna be pretty cool. So, but yeah, I'll sponsor you. I'll pull another one of those things out of there. You can ride. We'll paint it red. I don't care. Get some gas plastic for it and call it a Honda. I don't know. But actually, I'm trying to think if I have. You know what? You should talk to Honda and see if you can race the Transalp. Race a twin cylinder bike.
Race a Transalp in it.
Race a Transalp. Why not? It's not that. There's nothing that's that hard on a Transalp. A guy in a Ducati 990 finished second a couple years ago. Some kid named Alexander Smith. He might be related to no other Malcolm Smith. So, but you could do it. You're almost related to Johnny Campbell, so it should work in your favor, I would think. What does Mark Daniels want to say?
He says, I remember waiting for our Motoing of San Ignacio, and everyone thought it was a TT coming down the highway.
Yeah, that's what Tim is talking about, like what it sounded like. Flat twins have a really cool sound to them. It's like a drone. It's just a deep kind of droning sound, which is really cool. So yeah. Let's see, what else do we got going here? I've jacked my screen up there. So Tim, I got a question for you. We got it. Nope. We got to go to the boards. The information there. What does Rich Barrow say?
What is your favorite Bruce Ogilvy story?
Starting with Tim.
No, starting with Jimmy.
You really? Okay. Do I have Bruce Ogilvy. So when I met Bruce, I was working as a test rider, probably for Dirt Bike magazine, and I was a squirrel. So I was younger than you, and just a hyperactive kid. Just wanted to ride bikes, and I had a feel for bikes. I understand how to do it, but like, when I was doing photos, I was always goon riding and messing around. So Bruce thought I was an idiot, and he was right, but he thought that for like a long time. He's like, "Just kid's just a squirrel." And then I went out to a district enduro, and Bruce is there with Peter Postel and Grant Plansky and a couple other District 37 enduro guys, and I kind of came to the finish, and I don't even know how to add up my score on the scorecard of an enduro, because you have to, like, it involves math and time keeping, and I kind of taught myself how to time keep, but I didn't know how to add up the scorecard at the end of the day. So I cruised up to the group of guys that I knew. Rick Daniels there, a couple guys. These are the good guys. I knew who they were, and I cruised up with my card, because I'm like, hey, like, because I know they were all counting all their cards, and I'm like, how did I do? And I showed them my card, and when they started looking at it, because they knew where the big time drops were, like where you lose your time. The first thing they saw is I burnt the very first check, which was, according to the club, impossible to burn. And burn a check in enduro means you rode too fast to get there. But they set a speed that nobody could go, evidently. It was kind of around this kind of motocrossy track thing in the desert. And they told you it's an ISD type qualifier, go as fast as you can. And I didn't care about enduros. I wanted to go do ISD. So I turned the throttle, and I burnt the freaking check. And they're like, "You burnt the first check. You're an idiot. Like, why'd you burn that? You just, because you come in, you could see that you're early." And I'm like, "Well, they said it was fast as possible." And they started looking in. I was like, well, he zeroed that one. And then they're like, they're all looking at me like, "You just won this enduro." And I'm like, "Huh?" So, yeah, that was my, that was my sort of story. And Bruce was kind of standing right there, and he's thinking, "You stupid kid." But that even carried on to, I was doing well at races and stuff. And I wasn't like, Bruce really took guys that were a little more mature, a little more responsible. And then he had to, because I was a journalist, he had to offer me a factory ride on an XR628 at the Nevada Rally. But that was the year they did all this training and practice, because they really wanted to do well. And unlike all the other journalists that they offered this thing to, I went to all the trainings and practice, and I made a road book and did all the things that Bruce made the whole factory team do, which was Johnny Campbell, Jeff Capt, I think Charles Halcomb was on the team at the time. There was, a lot of really good, Chuck Miller, a lot of really good guys, and I learned a ton from him. But after that, he kind of realized, oh, okay, yeah, this kid, he just acts like a squirrel. So, okay, it's up to you, Tim. What's your?
Well, I got a couple. Bruce, I don't know if it was just me, but he was few words, and it worked for Johnny and Dave and Jamie when they their last race for getting on a Team Honda bike. They raced a CR 250, right? And they completely maxed their credit cards and destroyed a bike, but did super well. But that was it. Bruce, they were on board right after that. So myself and John Flores, we weren't really doing it for the same reason, but we were racing a CR 250, and I wasn't on it. John was, and he was an animal. And at a score race, he ripped the entire swing arm off of the bike. Broke the front of the swing arm, ripped the shock off. The whole rear of it was off of the bike. And so we had it in a van, and I see Bruce at a pit, and I said, "I got to show you something." And I opened the doors, and all he did, he just looked at me. Nothing about concern if anyone was injured. It was just, well, that doesn't look very good. And he closed the door and walked away. And I thought that was, I wasn't really sure where to go with that, but we kept racing the Honda. Another time back when Honda pits were super popular, they would overbook and, there was a waiting list to get in. I lagged and didn't have pits for a Baja 1000. And so we contacted him and sort of lied. And we weren't planning on racing open class, but he said, what are you going to do? Because of course, premier class is what he was going to take before any age class. We were going to ride 30. And so we sort of lied and said, we're racing 22. Back then it was called 22. And he said, then I've got an offer for you. And that became something pretty special. We did race 22, and that was with Jonah and Ron Wilson. And
so you started the B team.
Yeah, we did. and that was all because I'm a procrastinator and apparently a liar at that time too. And it worked out great.
Yeah, Bruce was definitely a legend. Just kind of like I said, sometimes he could talk, but sometimes man, a few words, and just always just very analytical and no kind of not a lot of bullshit. just get it done. And so, yeah, good times. Great question, Rich. So thank you. And the Nora Rally Tim raced. Oh, so Baja Bound Adventures 251. Do you know who that is, Tim?
No.
Probably your wife. She's saying that she's mentioned that you also raced the Nora. What about the Nora that she raced?
I rode the first one of the new Nora, which I think was 09. And that was when it was primarily vintage. I think the newest bike you could have was a 89, and I had a badass 88 XR 600. I raced that one, and rules are pretty lax back then. Oh, they still are, but I was gonna, of course, ride it solo. But then our buddy Jonah was racing a Husky, and I think it broke on day one. And so, hell, he came all the way down this way. Put him on the bike, and so
well, you became a team.
Yeah. During the event, not really signed up, but hey, and I think I raced the 2 years after that. So I raced also. Every year we're there assisting people, but there was 2 years that we didn't assist because I raced. And another year I raced a XR 650 when they opened up the rules to more modern bikes, raced a 650 and didn't do so well.
Hey, what year did Jen race?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Remember, but Jen has done it on an XR 400. I know that, I think, Henge raced that year and broke on day 1 or 2. Ricky Johnson raced and won, on an XR. Jen rode an XR 400, and actually if we really got down to having a Stella is a tracking device, and they accumulate penalties through the Stella. If there were actually honest penalties given out that year, Jen would have done better than 5th overall, because I think, she paid attention to when there were speed limits and things like that. But she rode it the whole way on her XR. She still tells stories I've heard way too many times.
It was 2016, by the way, and don't ask me how I know.
It was 16?
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping track. She'd have it pinned, she'd be tucked in, and she felt like the thing, like the motor shaking in the frame, felt like it was gonna, crank was gonna come out of it. But
it's an XR 400. That's what they do, and they keep running.
Yeah, And she said she'd be pinned down these roads, just tucked in, and someone on a big bike, a KX500 or XR650, would just right by. And she also did it in a buggy. You can tell me what year it was, Jimmy. I don't know. Oh, she did it in a buggy, a single seat buggy too.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have that information to me shortly. I got fact checkers, my whole staff over here. See all my staff over there?
Yeah.
They look like busy bees. They're probably just downloading porn on the internet or something. But yeah, so, we'll get right on that stuff. Hey, so I kind of want to, and that was in 2018, Tim, by the way, just so you know.
Thanks.
And if you're watching
let me know when my answer is.
Yeah, if you're watching our chat, you'll see the same information that I'm getting. So if you're in the chat, by the way, and you have any questions you want to ask us, or if you're listening to this at a later date and you have questions, you can always email them to me. That's jimmy@dirtbiketest.com. And if you want to be in Roosterendo, which we're going to do a little later on, I'm sure Tim will stick around for Roosterendo because guess what brand the bike is that's in Roosterendo, or at least one of them. Yes, Tim.
A Suzuki.
It looks
right over here.
It looks like it's red like all the is that Grant's bike?
Oh, I got a Suzuki.
Oh, you have a Suzuki? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two Suzukis. I own two Suzukis. Yeah. So we'll get it. We'll catch up with those kind of things in Roosterendo. But anyways, so if you're listening, comment, chat, ask questions. I always like to see where everybody's from. So if you're in the chat and you have the ability, some people are watching us on TV and it's hard to get into that. Type in where you're from. Tell us about your bike you're riding. If you have any kind of a question that's motorcycle product related, you can riding tips. You can even ask us about the races this weekend, where evidently a 20-year-old motorcycle won a Supercross. Ken Roxon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How everybody wants the latest, greatest, next best thing. Like, Tim, we need to start a Supercross team we'll field some XR 400s. I think, especially when we go back east, the flex in those frames will work out really good in the ruts, and then they can't talk about how stiff the chassis is and the bike won't turn. Like, yeah, I think that's that's our next goal. Because this supporting racers in Mexico and putting on races in Mexico is not cutting the cheese right now. So the question I want to ask you, Tim, because nobody else is asking this. So you have, you do these tours. You'd love for people to come and just rent your bikes because then that they're on a solid platform and stuff like that. And I know when people bring their bikes, because I've heard about this, you give it a little bit of a gear check. You do a once over on it. And I know you obviously send them a checklist before they go, correct?
When I remember.
Okay. So your wife always sends them a checklist. And so when they show up and you do the lap around the bike and stuff, what are the biggest things that you see that kind of maybe catch people out?
Well, catch people out, or things that catch my eye in a negative way. How about that?
Yes.
The non-O-ring chain, aluminum sprockets, not good engine protection, no handguards, inner tubes that have air in them are retarded, and I don't know why people everywhere wouldn't just be running bib mooses all the time, but we run through a lot more cactus than most people, maybe.
Yeah. So but so you're saying tubes are bad for long rides. Okay, I totally agree. Engine protection. So you're talking about having a skid plate.
Yeah, a good yes.
Not a little skinny motocross skid plate. You want something that kind of wraps up and protects, maybe a little bit like the water pump and the side cover.
Right.
The stuff. And is that for tip over? Is that for like a rock flying up?
A lot for tip overs, but a lot because it's certain rides. Not every ride. It depends on the group, right? But we'll go smashing over rocks and fitting between rocks and hey, if they're doing it to their own bike and smashing the cases, I I get less concerned than when it's my bikes. But like, what is it? The SXX S? You know what I'm saying?
SXX, yeah, it's KTM, yeah.
Good ones, like those good skid plates, things like that.
The skid plate brand.
Okay, the skid plate brand. So like TM Design Works,
Yeah.
SXX. There's the company in Utah makes some. There's a Utah. What are they called? They're
Bulletproof.
no bulletproof. Or there's a Pro Moto Built, but I don't know if they make skid plates. There's one that makes aluminum ones. That are kind of heavy duty. I'm not a big fan of aluminum skid plates. So, but what I am a big fan of, and I haven't mentioned this yet tonight, amazingly, is Yamaha. What are you laughing at? Hold on a second here. You're laughing at me because I'm going to do sponsor reads. No? Okay. You're wearing your JCR Honda hat. You're doing good over there. I like Yamaha because Yamaha sponsors our podcast, and Yamaha makes really, really fun bikes. You can have one of those because you've gone riding with me before. That sticker, by the way. Yeah, you can have a sticker, little boy. So Yamaha, maker of excellent YZs, WRs, YZFXs, Teneres, and then the TTR trail bikes. So if you're in the mood to have some fun on a dirt bike, and even the new WR125, which if you weren't such a JCR Honda guy, I would say, hey, I could probably get you a factory ride in Nora on a Yamaha WR125. So if you're some kind of influencer or journalist or something and you want to take on a challenge, I can probably hook you up with a factory ride at Nora on a Yamaha WR125. So hit me up in the comments or the emails for that, if you know what I mean. But other than that, lots of other stuff. Ricochet, Mark Daniels. I appreciate you for bailing me out when I can't remember things. What tequila did you have tonight, Mark? What tequila are we on? Because I'm about ready to reach back behind the desk here in a second and figure out what kind of tequila I'm going to be on tonight. And then our guest tonight, I got to remember to do this, reintroduce our guest. Our guest tonight is Tim Morton of Baja Bound Adventures, Baja Bound Moto. If you are thinking about going on a Baja tour or you want to have a professional race service, even at, Tim, the Mint 400. Do you want to have a factory ride at the Mint 400? That's in Nevada. Tim gets kind of close to my house and he won't even come visit me.
I know better.
But he gets really close. He's afraid of this area. Because I think he'll like it. It's nice out here, right?
Yeah.
I probably would. We'll be up there in a couple days. Also, we're racing this weekend in Southern Nevada.
Oh, really? Up out of Pahrump?
No, sorry, we're not racing dirt bikes. We're racing cars this weekend.
Yeah, cars. But is it out of Pahrump, that race?
No,
or it's Prim?
Gene. Yeah.
Okay, Gene. Yeah. So that's okay. You can do cars. I
Hey,
know Ricky Brabeck does cars now.
Which hand is this? See, I got it right over. Where's the guy? Over there. I've got my Yamaha.
Oh, you got a Yamaha. What Yamaha you got?
125.
Oh, I got one of those.
One of my favorites in the shop.
Yeah. That's a great bike. A lot of fun. I actually want to buy a new one, but I'm not allowed to buy a new bike until I sell about 7 or 8 of the ones that I currently have. Jeremy Frank says, who is your co-host? Well, tonight, sitting in the co-host chair, that's Nolan Cate. Do you know Jeremy Franklin?
I do not.
You do not. He's obviously a fan. That's Nolan Cate, rides for JCR Honda in the National Hare and Hound Series. He's here tonight because he was forced into coming in tonight because he's actually hanging out here doing his training and getting ready for the Hare and Hound Series. We went trail riding today, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
Super fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring in my world, but it's nice to be able to ride dirt bikes out of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good times. I was kind of giving him a lay of the land. He's been down here before, but most of the time it was just here, prep a bike, race, go off to a race, do all that kind of stuff. But he's here for a little while, getting ready. I'm threatening to go up to Lovelock, Fallon, wherever that race is.
Shit.
I race once a year, and I think I haven't done a point-to-point desert race in a while, so you never know. It might be a good race. It might be my race. I wonder if I could get better than third in the girls' class.
Hey, for Nolan, what's his highest overall finish at the National so far?
I got 6th overall last year on a 250. Second pro 250 last year, 6th overall.
Yeah. So he's learning, getting faster. Mark Daniels has Milagro. He's replying to himself. He has Milagro. Denise Mitchell has a question. What bib moose do you prefer for Baja and why? I think this is to Tim Morton. I'll answer too.
You answer first.
So I would run, and I have run almost any brand of bib moose that you've ever heard of in Baja because, and this is important, I know how to install them, I know how to lube them, and I can tell when something is starting to go wrong, so I stop riding on them or I curtail my riding. Now, I know Tim's a lot more particular about this, but the ones that I use over and over again have been the Nitro Mooses. And I've done a lot of development on Nitro Moose. I've tried a lot of different kinds of Nitro Moose. In fact, the last time I went down there, I had some prototype stuff on my bike, and I was blown away by what it did. I didn't expect it to go as long as it did, and it could continue. And it was used when I started, which was kind of a risk, but I trust the stuff, and I had a backup plan if something was going to go wrong. So, but anyhow, I'm not super specific, but I've had really good luck with Nitro Mooses. I've had really good luck with Michelin, because those are the two main ones that I have used. So, Tim, take it away.
Well, I know you and I have got into this before. I'm a Michelin fan. I like the Dunlops also, but the weight is a bit different. Dunlops are substantially heavier. They also are a little bit tougher for at least me to get. The Nitros are, we've had some interesting stuff happen with Nitros. We did learn something on a ride. It might have been last year that a guy showed up with Nitros that were definitely worn out before a 1,500-mile ride. And he didn't want to have anything to do with us putting brand new Michelins in his bike before we left here. And I was pretty impressed that they made it pretty much the whole way. If it was a Michelin and it was worn out, it would have been wasted by the end of day 2. And they wear out differently.
You're absolutely.
The Michelins disintegrate. The Nitros get smaller in, the circumference, I guess you'd say.
They shrink, yeah.
And but it's like they have a condom over. It's like a sausage, right? So it shrinks, but it doesn't disintegrate. And so
they'll disintegrate. You just got to do it right.
But it's still in there. So unlike having all this powder come out eventually, or literally sometimes they will just start melting. But the Michelins, the Nitro heck, your tire can lose its bead, and it still isn't gonna completely fail because it still has that piece in, it in there. So we learned that. It was pretty interesting. I still will stick by the Michelins, and hey, I pay retail for everything.
Yeah, and so in all this, so I've tried every different kind, tested them, played with them, and the when you start hearing about moose failures, 90%, 95% has to do with improperly installed, and whether that's the wrong lube, not enough lube, breaking the bead when you put it on, improper moose to tire size things, all these things. That's where the problems really occur. Now, if you take I've seen people get like a 3-year-old moose off the shelf, which they have shelf lives, and throw it into a tire and have a lot of problems. And they're like, oh, it's brand new. No, it wasn't brand new. Look, there's a born on date on most Moose packages and stuff now. And every brand has had a bad batch come through. And just like a motorcycle manufacturer has a bad batch of pistons or a cranks, or just there's a year that the valves are soft or something weird like this, that's all you hear about. You don't hear about all of the success stories of every other batch and all the other stuff that goes. So most of the brands that are out there, they're continuing to do stuff. They're all good, and they're going to do just fine. Michelin have a different feel than Nitro Moose, have a different feel than Dunlop, and they have weight characteristics, and there's all different kinds of things. And it really depends on what you're doing. And I can see for certain types of riders and that demand a certain type of performance, there's a certain moose I would say, hey, you don't want to be using these, you want to be using those. But that's really specific. And until you can actually describe those conditions or I can see you ride, I wouldn't even make a recommendation. Jeremy Franklin has another question. Nolan?
Do you run a double rim lock with your mooses?
Tim?
Yes and no. Race bikes, we do 2 rim locks. Just fun bikes, tour bikes and stuff, 1.
Yeah, and for a race bike, yeah, because you're already hauling, you're gonna put it to its limit. It's on a race course, it's gonna get beat up a little bit more. It helps balance the wheel, which is kind of important with a moose. If you have an out of balance wheel, it's gonna adversely affect a certain portion of the wheel. And then if something does happen, the tire is going to be less prone to coming off the rim. Those rim locks are going to grip it and help it work out. I run a lot of times no rim lock on a moose for the same reason of balance, but also because I know I'm not going to be putting that kind of a stress on it. If I were doing, desert Baja off-road racing, yes, I would. And I was really serious about my racing, I would put 2 rim locks on it. If I go to this race we're talking about, I will have 1 rim lock on my Nitro Moose on my Pirelli tire. Thanks to all the people that support me when I decide to go out racing. And the screen up behind me, it flashes all these companies on there. Those are great companies that make really good stuff. They help out Dirt Bike Test. So from our original sponsor, DDC, Delaney Drive Components, chain wheels and sprockets, all the way down to Trail Tech and Bulletproof Designs and who else is flashing on the screen? But Climb. How did my Climb gear look today?
Oh, look good.
Look good. Your Fly gear looked good too. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. Fly, not a sponsor of the show, but Climb definitely helps out the Jimmy Lewis program, short for Jimbo.
On the big mooses and rim locks.
Yes.
In the front, we were talking about rim locks. Rear, front. Do you run any rim locks ever in the front? Because we never do at all.
I usually do. I usually have a front rim lock on, and in all honesty, it's more for mounting the moose. The rim lock actually acts as a catch and makes it easier to hold on there. But then again, same thing. If you do wear it out to the point where there's some sort of failure, and I've only had 1 front moose failure in all of my time of riding and testing. And it was actually probably because of the rim lock, because it was in there for a long time, and that weight of that rim lock was throwing it off and did a lot of highway. Yeah, but I don't think you really need them on the front. So, and the other thing about having a rim lock, if you do have to go back to a tube, like you're going to have a failure and you're carrying a spare tube or something like that, it's always nice to have the rim lock if you're going to throw a tube back into that sucker as well. So, just, the problems are pretty small, few and far between. Okay. Jeremy, thanks for asking those questions. If you guys in the chat have more questions, hey, Mark, just so you know, tonight my tequila is Grand Mayan. This is a silver tequila, triple distilled. It's in a very beautiful bottle, as you can see in the screen. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, you're not going to get to see this beautiful bottle I was just displaying on the screen. But again, thanks to my boss who called in and dropped a couple she didn't know she was calling live into the show, and she dropped a couple F-bombs on us. It's at the intro of last week's episode. I beeped it out, though, because I didn't want to get banned on the YouTubes. Hey Tim, we've got we'll go straight to Roosterendo. I'm gonna go to Roosterendo right now. Is that good with you? Can we do that? Roosterendo.
Let's do it.
Roosterendo brought to you by Taco Moto. I didn't bring out Taco Moto when they're one of the things. Oh, Fasst Company flex handlebars.
The best.
They're really good. Us guys have been riding for a long time and logged a lot of miles. We all run Fasst Company flex handlebars, especially when, not me, but everybody else isn't sponsored by something else. Because every other guy that I know some guy that rode my bike, and he's like, man, those bars are really good. He was like kind of thinking he wanted to have some of those bars. Some guy I rode with the other day. You know which guy I'm talking about? Some guy? Yeah. He's got some wrists like mine. Yeah. Anyways, if your wrists are giving you the thumbs down sign while you're riding, you can get some flex handlebars and you can kind of ride multiple days and you don't even know. Fasst Company, made in the USA, made in Utah, and check out their spoke wrenches and some of their little factory little tidbits for your motorcycle. But Roosterendo is brought to you by Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. Taco Mike loves this segment. He likes to have us talk about other people's motorcycles, and this is a segment, and you can join in. And the submissions tonight, one came without a photo, and then I called it up because I'm like, oh, we got one. I called up and I'm like, no photo. And to the last minute, the guy sent me a photo, and 2 minutes after that, somebody else sent me a Roosterendo submission. So we have some tonight. Our very first one, I'm going to call up the screen here. If you're listening online, we're going to do our best to describe it. This is Brian's bike, and Brian, I'm going to try to find his email. I probably should have done some homework before. I can search it here real quick. This is where you got to bail me out. This is where you would just start talking and just kind of it's called bridging the gap. It's when the co-host starts talking. So just say something interesting to the folks. I'm going to put you on screen. This is where you do what we call a monologue in the podcasting world. Logan never did a monologue, but you don't know.
I don't know how to do this.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Nolan.
That's good. That's good. It's like your Tinder profile or whatever you want to call it. Hold on a second. I'm still typing.
I live in Kalispell, Montana.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm a professional motorcycle racer. You go down that road. Yeah.
Yeah, I race for JCR Honda.
Right. You can list off your sponsors. That'll blow a few seconds. Keep going. I still haven't even started typing the search for. Keep going. Come on. It's Roost.
Hey, Nolan, were you originally from San Clemente area?
Yeah. Yeah, my parents lived there their whole childhood, and then we moved to Montana when I was like 5.
Okay, so I found it. You're off the hook. You're not off the hook, trust me. But okay, so this is from Brian. I don't know Brian's name. This is his submission for Roosterendo, and so you know how Roosterendo works, Nolan. Do you understand this game?
No, I haven't done this.
So you send a picture of your motorcycle in, and you do a description of it. You tell us something about your motorcycle, and then we will talk about it, and we will decide at the end of the segment whether this motorcycle roosts or endos. Roost is good, endo is bad, kind of like when you're riding.
Okay.
Now, and then at the end, we take the submissions, and we pick the one that gives us the most enjoyment. And it doesn't matter whether it roosts or endo. It's the one that we enjoy talking about the most, the one that myself, and if I allow my guest to have an opinion or my co-host to have an opinion, I might allow that. Maybe the chat can even come in and help me decide. So this is, and I knew nobody would know what this is. If you know what it is, you should have put it up in the chat already. But I'll tell you right now, Mark Daniels had the Raposa Grand Mayan. Yeah, how was it? And then everybody's telling you to speak up. Yeah, talk a little bit louder. I'll try to bump your mic a little bit, see how that works over there. But I'll fix it in post. That's a technical term for some stuff I do over there in that corner. Post. Thanks, Mark. Okay, so I don't know if anybody guessed what this is. This is a Fantic. Have you heard of a Fantic?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Oh, It's a Fantic 305 trials bike. It's all stock except for the hand guards, and it has a forward kickstart and original tires. He said, I thought you would get a kick out of this for Rooster Endo. A friend of mine has passed away, I'm sorry, and is selling the bikes for his family. He may keep this one for himself. And he says, P.S. I've already won Rooster Endo. But the fact that he was honest about it, because I never remember, that's a good thing. But this is a very cherry looking vintage bike. It's funny because I kind of want to see the other side, I don't know why, I want to see the pipe and stuff like that. But yeah, Fantic 305 trials bike. I do remember these because there was something about them that was kind of revolutionary, and I don't remember what exactly it was. But yeah, I'm going to give that Roost just for clean. But then again, I'm going to go Endo because it's taken in front of a garage. You're looking down on the motorcycle. I don't know why people always want to shoot a photo. Like, get down and square up. Have you ever seen a brochure photo of a motorcycle where it's shot like on top of it? No. People, like, get down on your knees and take a picture of the damn motorcycle and show it for all its glory. Like, anybody can walk up and look at a motorcycle like that, but they want to see it from, like, angles. So he did go kind of 3/4 rear. The light looks pretty decent. So most people would probably take it on the other side where it's like backlit and the shadows are horrible and all. Like, nobody knows what I'm talking about. They think I'm a freaking freak. So, yeah. Tim, anything?
Yes, ditch the uni sticker on it. That bike is cool as shit right there. That's a classic. And look at the lines of it looks like one piece. The line of the tank, side panel, seat, rear fender. Is that all one piece? I don't know, but that bike's cool as shit right there.
Yeah, I remember there was something when that thing came out. There was something kind of revolutionary about it. It looked pretty good, but yeah.
I'm not totally down with trials bikes, but are shifters usually like a foot away from the foot peg on trials bikes?
They're generally up high because you're going to do all these crazy movements with your feet and you don't want to touch that shifter. So you usually have to take your foot off the foot peg and it's either really far forward or kind of up high in order to shift. Because it's not like you're you're never really shifting. You pick a gear and you do something. If you have to take a downshift, you usually kind of almost come to a stop, click, one way or the other, whatever you do. By the way, if you want to watch YouTube videos, watch World Trials or Stadium Indoor Trials just to be blown away by motorcycle skills. Turn off the stinking Willy Boys going through the streets of Philadelphia. Like, just ditch that shit. Don't watch the Yamaha Blue Crew racing up and down the streets of Santa Monica, California, ditching, it's the black and blue boys ditching the black and blue. Just ditch that stuff. Watch trials, kids. Don't let them watch High Speed Pursuits. Make them watch trials and say that's what you want to do, and then buy them an O-set, which is now owned by Triumph, by the way. Triumph makes some really cool little bikes. So enough of a rant. I'll go back to your regularly scheduled program. Logan. You talk as much as Logan, so that's why I refer to you as Logan. Logan, too. You couldn't even tell anybody about yourself. How are you going to get sponsors? You got to.
I was trying to get him to say I was born in Southern California and see it would be better for his Tinder or Grindr profile, whatever. And now I live in the fresh air of God's country, Montana, and I race dirt bikes for a living, even though I probably still live with my mom and dad. And Johnny Campbell's my uncle. And
are you pulling chicks up in Montana? No. Well,
good.
You're down in Southern Nevada here. No problem. They're like, and if you can't, and hey, the good thing about down here is if you can't find them, you can rent them. That's why you come on this show, huh, Tim?
Don't influence that poor kid.
Valley of the Dirt people. Johnny's gonna take them away. Johnny's gonna say, okay, that's it, we're out. The Jimbo program it's different for everybody, so don't judge. Okay, so let's get back to Rooster Endo. I think this is a triple roost. It's a triple roost, Brian. Thanks for getting that to us. But don't worry, because coming up next, we have Jared. Okay, this is where you gotta continue talking, Nolan, because I've got to go find Jared's information.
Okay. Can I tell you about a bike?
Yeah, tell us about that bike. Oh no, you can't. No, you're
I'm
supposed to
not
talk about
allowed to.
yourself.
Well, we just already talked about myself.
Well, I was making jokes about you. You're supposed to say
Oh.
some nice things about like what your goals are. Like what are you planning on doing in like the next few weeks, next few months? What's your 3 and 5 year plan for your racing project? What do we got going on here?
I want to win a national hare and hound championship, but I need to start by actually winning a race. So that's a short-term goal.
That's
long
good.
term,
Well,
win a championship.
that's good. Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are lofty goals. Like think
Yeah.
of all the dudes that have won national hare and hound championships. That's a pretty lofty goal. I wasn't able to do that. I wanted to. I never thought I could, but I wanted to. So okay, we're gonna get back to Roosterendo. We'll get back to you later. Just don't worry. Let's see. Roosterendo. Brought to you by Takomoto. That's takomoto.co. If you want to get some cool stuff for your dirt bike, check out takomoto.co. They have an extensive catalog of parts and things for your bike. But even better, they have a lot of information on their website where you can, they call them white sheets. And they talk about different things. If you want to know what a pipe's going to do or what an ECU is going to do for your bike, go there and look at their white sheet. And for sure, it's good, valuable information. And that's how I met Taco Mike. I read one of his white sheets and said, hey, I know this guy's selling stuff, but he's actually telling it like it is. So I really appreciated that. And that's kind of how we got talking, because I saw one of those things and I told him, hey, good job. He's like, oh, really? You noticed it? And I'm like, yeah, I did. It was legit. This is the kind of same stuff I say on my show or podcast or whatever. dirtbiketest.com website was broken for 2 days and I wanted to shoot myself because I had to work on it. Back to Roosterendo, your regularly scheduled program. This is Jared. And now you get to talk. Can you read this for us?
Yeah. Jared says, I have been a listener.
Oh, come on. Read the first line.
My name is Jared.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said this. Jared said.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh.
yeah, my name is Jared.
Yeah.
He's going to do this. So the rules for Roosterendo, by the way, if you're going to submit one, you have to send an email to jimmy@dirtbiketest.com, and it has to say Roosterendo in the subject line. If it doesn't do that, it's failed, number one. The very important thing you need to put in the thing is you need to put in there, make, model, year. Make, year, model. Something like that. I need to know what it is, what year it is, and what bike it is. I mean, I can usually tell, but we're going to see if he did that, because right now I'm looking through here just quickly and I'm confused because is that a Yamaha?
No.
Okay, go ahead. We're going to see if the word Honda comes up in this entire thing.
My name is Jared, and I have been a listener of your show on Spotify for about 2 months now. I listen to the podcast in the morning while I am in the gym.
Find
them to be entertaining and informative, while they may not always be applicable to what I ride.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna interrupt. I don't like to interrupt, even though I do it all the time. So Jared, thanks for being a listener. Glad you're there. What we talk about may not be applicable to what I ride. Like, I think we talk about dirt bikes.
Yeah.
He must have listened to some podcast where I was talking about the whole time about like mini bikes or something, or adventure bikes. I don't. We talk about everything dirt bike. And if you want to steer this show, all you have to do is get in the chat and tell us things. You can make this show go anywhere you want it to. So, but anyways, hey, thanks for joining in, and we can make it as applicable to you as possible. Just ask in the chat or comment, and we'll get to you. Okay, go ahead.
I consider myself a casual desert rider, primarily in Barstow, Cougar Buttes, Johnson Valley, Lake Arrowhead, and Big Bear, where I attempted the Big Bear dual sport ride in 2024 and 2025. I am into Trevor.
He ran into Trevor.
Oh, I ran into Trevor there.
Okay, so let me apologize for that. Go ahead. Not your speaking, but for running into Trevor. Trevor probably ran into him. Did you see Trevor in his KLX 300 video?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like running into guys?
Yeah.
And actually, he was way too polite. But go ahead.
I stopped and talked to him in the Lake Arrowhead when he called it a day after the lake was held together.
The bike.
Oh, the bike was held together with JB Weld and Vice Grip.
Nice going, Trevor. Good representing dirt bike test.
The bike that I would like to submit for Rooster Endo is a 2007 Honda CRF 450X.
Bingo. Thank you. There we go. So I spoke too early. It's on me. I didn't read that far into this email. But go ahead. Not that we wanted it. Not what that we wanted an epic before the bike. Maybe a short description what happened, but keep going.
That I purchased in March of 2020. I currently use this bike to race the District 37 Sprint Enduro Series, and I have put over 2,000 miles on this bike since owning it. I have taken it down to the bare frame 2 times since owning it to clean and maintain it.
Okay. So he just described what I almost feel is almost like our average viewer, really. So he does dual sport rides. He races a little desert. He has a dirt bike. I mean, I think I kind of feel like that's who I'm talking to, a guy who's just a rider.
Yeah.
Does it sound, and it's just, it's funny. So in the beginning, I did read the first paragraph, and when I see that, I'm like, it doesn't apply to him all the time. Maybe it's the off-color jokes that I make. You think that could be the problem? Should I clean up my act a little bit?
Maybe.
Oh, really? Okay, Tim, should I clean up my act a little bit over here?
No, but let the kid talk. It's his first day, right? Hey, Nolan, is today your first day?
Third show.
Second show.
Yeah.
We called you in a long time ago. You sat here with Preston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, it's I can't remember, but yeah, I should let him talk. I'm very good. I'm a professional interrupter, Tim, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So that bike, I don't think he's your average, what's his name? Jared. Jared's not your average listener. Jared, I hope you're watching. I don't know why the hell you're tearing your bike down twice to the frame. That's a Honda. It's a CRF. It's an automatic roost. Someone put that in the comments there.
Yeah, it was somebody you know quite well.
I can't quite see it. And
yeah, it's your wife.
Oh, sorry. It's a Gen 1X. It's got a quality skid plate like I was talking about. It's got some wraparound handguards, which is good. We don't have to work on as much shit on the trail, even though I don't personally, I can't use wraparounds. It's got likely some good suspension on it. Hopefully not just stickers. He's got a Enduro Engineering shark fin on it. It might have a license plate on that thing too. It's hard to tell.
He says he rode a dual sport ride, so I mean, I imagine that's his dual sport bike as well.
Got a Baja Designs headlight, hopefully not an Amazon Ching Chong one. That bike it's got some radiator guards. It might have an aftermarket seat on it. It looks thicker.
Yeah, Tim would know. Like he is a connoisseur of Gen 1Xs, and I'm agreeing with everything. Yeah, I'm interrupting you too, but I'm agreeing with everything.
Hey,
you're saying.
Jared, you want to sell it?
Yeah. That's a good sign. Yeah. So here's I'm gonna hit this here. Below are the specs or the bike that I would like to submit for Rooster Endo. Well, he did submit it, and here's the specs. AMH suspension. So you caught that. Baja Designs Squadron Sport headlight. Baja Designs re-round stator. Trail Tech Voyager GPS. Billet start-stop switches. Cyclopro Pro Bend handguards, Duval radiator guards, Works connection and radiator braces, TM Design Works skid plate, chain guide, slider, case saver, Enduro Engineering rear brake guard. Good eye, Tim. It's incredible what, people wonder how we do this, how we can just spot stuff. I walk up to a bike and look at it and, hey, your Masterlink clip's worn out. And they're like, what? That's a pet peeve.
What part did I need from you last time we went riding?
You needed a part from me?
Yep.
A Masterlink clip?
That's it.
Did I spot it, or did you spot it, or did you tell me? It wasn't even on the bike. It was gone.
It was gone. Yeah.
I'm going riding with the guy with the most miles in Baja, and he's just riding without a Masterlink clip. I'm like, Tim, what's up with that? Huh? I had one. So, hey, anyways, Recluse Radius X 3.0, clutch cover, Yoshimura R2 exhaust, Kibble White valves and headwork by Phil Wyatt, JD jetting kit, CV4 hoses, Trail Tech cooling fan. Dude, this thing is set up to the hilt. ODI McGrath bars, lock-on grips, Pro Taper XPS clutch perch, brake lever, GPR steering stabilizer, IMS core, put pegs, rugged radios, push to talk, IMS 3-point gallon tank, Seat Concepts comfort seat. Seat Concepts, another Idaho company that makes really cool stuff made in the USA, and a proud sponsor of this show every once in a while. Dirt Tricks, 1440 gearing, DVT ERT chain, DID ERT chain, Star Cross 6, medium hard tires, Nitro Mooses, Works connection axle block, Galfer brake pads. They're called G-brakes now, by the way. CRF's only odometer delete and license plate mount. Most importantly, Gnarly Dave fender sticker. Uh-oh. He has a NAR sticker.
He has a NAR sticker.
Do you know NAR? You know NAR.
I know NAR.
Tim, do you know NAR?
Everybody knows NAR.
Yeah, you know NAR. Everybody knows NAR. It's got the NAR sticker. I don't see it. I think he might be lying, but maybe it's on the back. It's not on the front. So, hey, Jared, Tim, what do you think about this bike?
If it's for sale, I'll buy it, and it's a roost all day.
Yeah. Nolan?
It's a roost.
Logan too? Yeah, it's a roost. I'm almost thinking about endoing it for one reason. I might endo the Gnarly Dave sticker. I mean, I like NAR. Sold him some bikes, some things, but like that's flexing. He look, there's a NAR sticker right here in my hand, and because of that, it's NAR. It could be endoing. Hey, if you want the shirt that I'm wearing right now, guess what? You can't have it because it's sold out. Fuck You Racing says follow them on Instagram and see when they do limited release t-shirt drops. Because Jerry is a good friend of mine, and I beat him at go-karts the other night. Again, set the lap record until this morning, and then something tragic happened that we're not going to talk about. But Jared, I'm going to go ahead and give you a roost. That thing totally roost. And for that, we have to decide which of these two bikes wins. Takamoto's Rooster Endo. You get a $100 gift certificate from Takamoto where you can buy more cool stuff for your bike. And that bike has a lot of cool stuff on it, but I'm going to go with the Honda. Anybody?
I'm going to go with the Fantic just because as soon as you put it up, I'm like, that bike is awesome. I would put it over here and just not ride it and just look at it and clean it now and then because it's cool as shit.
I got a Gas 300 you can put in your shop and look at it too.
No.
For about $1,000.
No.
Nolan?
I'm going Honda.
Honda?
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat says. I'm going to scroll over my chat here and see what it says. Honda's a definite roost. It's on the fender, not on top-down photos. Hey, that's the thing is he actually shot a nice. He's still a little high, like a little lower angle there. And Jared, that's Jared? He's in the chat. He wins. He wins for being in the chat. That's super cool. So, Jared, send me back another email. Reply to the email. Jeremy Franklin says you win too, and I will get you hooked up with Taco Mike, and they will take care of you down there at Takamoto. So go to Takamoto and buy some cool stuff. $100 will get you started for sure. Doug Derby says,
Someone who talks like I do. Ching Wong Wrong Light Kit.
Tim's second favorite bike is what it's called, and Jared says it's Arizona plated. So he's got a slip and a wheelie in there. That's really good. I love it when people are sticking it to California. And Jared Lee says when you talk about it says something when you talk about a ton of KTM's. I guess I gave him shit and I don't even realize it. So that's the winner of Rooster Endo, by the way. So Tim, we talked about the things that you see on bikes that you don't like. When you see all these DNFs in your Baja races and stuff, not your teams, but just other teams, or you kind of see it. What kind of are the common things you see there when someone goes to a race and you can usually see it before it happens, right?
Yeah, they have no idea what they're about to get into. It's not necessarily looking at a bike and saying those guys are in for a long day. We look at the people and maybe their crew and things they're doing and say they're in for let's not say a long day, a really short day. And it might not end well. So, guys going in thinking they know more than they do and probably learning most of it on the internet and not preparing properly. The 7 Ps.
Prior proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Yeah, my former KTM factory mechanic Dave Chase told me that, and he usually said that while I was prepping my own bike for a race. And he meant it in a good way, but he was observing something he was seeing that wasn't prior proper preparation to prevent the piss poor performance that was going to come from it. Although I did prove him wrong way more times than he would have liked, because he was a factory mechanic and I just got stuff done. It was two different things. You're learning how to be Nolan. You're learning how to be a factory mechanic of sorts on your own stuff.
Yeah.
Prepping bikes over in the JCR shop and getting stuff done. I mean, Johnny learned from Bruce, and there's the way that Johnny does it, and you watch anybody like when Kendall is prepping bikes. These guys they know how to be factory mechanics, and they take everything very seriously. It's done in a slower manner. It's done in a very you don't want to be disturbed. Like if I walk up and start talking to Kendall when he's working on like one of Ricky's bikes, he gets up and walks away from the bike, or he doesn't even pay attention. He just is focused on what he's doing because it's got to be done to perfection. He has to stop and then he can talk. Mm-hmm. So it's not just how you do it and the parts you use. It's how you do it, not just the parts you use. I think it's what I was trying to say. So cool. Next, the next thing we're gonna do, we always do this. We go into our YouTubes, and people leave comments on our stuff. Tim, would you want to stick around and see what people say about our videos?
Yeah. Let's stick around. And I just saw my name come up on that chat thing. What was that?
Okay, I'll tell you what they said. It says, T. Harmon. You might know who these people are. Jimmy and Tim, thanks for all the sage advice and good times in Baja. Todd. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for reading
thanks. Yeah, thanks for being there. Jeremy Latrosse. Tim, should I let Jimmy work on my engine before Nora this year? Hey, Jeremy, you should hire Nolan to do it. He's going to be looking for a job here in a few days after he gets fired from JCR after being on this show. Hey, Tim, have you ever seen my bikes break?
I watched Jimmy snap a spark plug in his jet ski one time.
Oh, you were there for that?
Yeah.
Kendall watched that happen too. He told me I was going to do
Preston.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a faulty part. That was a faulty part. It wasn't. I mean, I didn't realize how strong I was.
Yeah.
So, Tim, you want to answer that question? Should they let me work on Jeremy's engine?
I don't, Jeremy, I don't think Jimmy has time. I'm getting you off the hook on this because I don't think you want to.
No, I want to. I really like, working on engine. I like tearing things apart and seeing how they work and seeing what kind of wear is in things. And I don't think it even has that much mileage on it, but he just wants to go through it. And I've taken my top ends on and off multiple times, and you saw how my bikes work in Baja. They keep on chugging. So the elbow torque wrench failed. That was on the jet ski.
Yeah.
Like Kendall called it like right before he was kind of about ready to say hey, and I saw him doing that and it went punk. And but luckily the thing came out, because that was a deep hole to get that thing out of if those threads didn't come out. But I wonder how he knew how to get it out so easy. I mean, I wonder how he knew the technique for that. You'd think he might have done that before.
Oh, probably multiple times.
You're like the guy who claims he had a bib moose failure.
Well, no, I'll admit straight away that I over torqued it, but it just, that's the way things. Sometimes I didn't know. I don't use torque wrenches on spark plugs all the times. So, okay, let's go to these questions here. These are questions that are on YouTube from your thing. I'm going to see if I can actually get this up on the screen real quick. Nolan, why don't you talk about this for us? You got to read this. So, this is from Trevor's video. This is Trevor Hunter, who honks at people, and he's a mean person in the races. Trevor rode a Kawasaki KLX 300 at a National Hare and Hound. And what does Gassy 1798 say?
Says, I watched the head cam when it was released. Hilarious that he seemed to get addicted to the horn. I laughed all the way through his POV. We all know the bikes can do it.
Albeit 60% of the time pace.
Oh. Legend move for the crack in the... Jeez.
I'm going to try to put the screen, what you're trying to read up on this screen here. No, you can't read that. Okay, I'll see. Let's see. Legend move for the crack and a motivator for all those out here who can't afford or don't want to run a proper dirt bike. Run what you brung, boy, and enjoy it. Life is a race. Join in. Oh, and to the guy in the husky in black, you had it coming. Get some effing race etiquette, man. Come on. So, Billy Cruz says what?
Chemtrails everywhere. Great video.
Yeah. Let's see. Highwayman 101. I don't know. Highway, whatever. Great video.
Yeah, you can
beat on.
To beat on. You can also eat gas station sushi too.
That sounds like a automated response from a chat bot. Let's see. What does D Feckle say?
I ride a KLX 300R, and it's great to see others discover how capable it is. I also experienced the box full of neutral transmission, which has gotten better after 1,000 miles and a longer shifter. My other problem with the bike is weight. I'm a little guy, and it really wears me out if I have to pick it up more than a couple times.
Nolan, do you know
technical terrain?
Do you know how you fix that problem? Him being a little guy?
Workout.
No. Don't tip the bike over.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah, I used to run a riding school, and then I just throw in like a plug for my riding school at this point, but I don't anymore. So just don't tip it over. Watch more YouTube videos. Okay, go ahead.
Where was I?
I like the power, how quiet it is, and how good the suspension is for this 51-year-old B rider, and so cheap. I got my 21 with maybe 5 hours on it for $3,800. What does Jay Welchie say?
He says KLX 300 sales go skyrocket this weekend. I bet.
Well, if they do, I hope Trevor had a rider in his contract for do that, because he didn't make any Kawasaki contingency bucks that weekend. It was a really lean weekend for Trevor because he wasn't up to his normal finishes. DR350 XR. Wow, that's a confusing ass name. Tim, what about that? What about that name?
I'm not looking at the name, but Trevor is great entertainment. When he was doing, well, I think he still does some of those best in desert races, the team stuff. The content, I don't watch almost any of this stuff, but his stuff every now and then I'll watch, and he'll put out something on Monday right after racing on Saturday, and it.
Oh, is that on his personal channel?
Hell, I don't know.
Oh, it just gets fed to you on the internet. Well, here's the problem with Trevor. He's trying to go a little bit rogue and use his personal channel too much. He needs to put that stuff on Dirt Bike Test so I can collect all of the revenue. Okay.
Well, like
Trevor, did you hear that?
His helmet cam stuff when he's just pinned
dodging donkeys.
Yeah, that stuff made me go, Jesus! Like I don't believe I ever liked to go fast. It's stupid. But yeah, it's great entertainment, and the things he does, and like the Big Bear ride and stuff. He's pretty good at
pumping his ego. I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, let's get back to answering this question. DR350 XR
says, as someone who rides on the East Coast, this looks awesome. Nice riding. Those bikes are more capable than people think.
All bikes are more capable than people think. Damn a poro whatever.
Says, I love this concept. Great job, all involved.
So is he talking about like everybody that was involved in building that bike? Is he talking to the Japanese and engineers and the Kawasaki media people that allowed Trevor to smash the crap out of their bike? Or is he talking about Trevor and his GoPro and then his 5 friends that sent him videos of him honking horns at them while they were, doing photography out in the desert? I don't know which. What does Martin Niv say?
Respect from the
GB. That's Great Britain, I believe.
For your patience and self-control with the back runners. Well done to you and the little KLX 300.
Okay, so I would not have been that nice, but Trevor, he's I think because on the highway, because if you know like a little bit about him and his ethnic background and ethnicity and stuff like that, he's probably not a very good driver, and so he's probably used to being run over by people all the time and stuff. So he didn't want to pay back the favor. He's not an entitled white guy like me. It just likes running people over all the time. What is Mike M?
Says, sorry, couldn't stand the horn. It's street legal. I get it. Grow up. It's like listening to your neighbor kids.
And then Tion Neon says, I was going to say the same thing. You couldn't watch the darn video. Well, you did watch the darn video and you put a comment on it. So quit lying. It's like horns away. It's Need a Trail Boss says,
it's not the bike.
Well, that's what Lance Armstrong said too. It's not the bike. It's the steroids. The drugs. I don't think Trevor's on drugs. I don't know why he said that. What is Marcus?
Says, you need to watch Torture Test magazine. He rides piece of crap motorcycles. One of his races was on a DR200. He was passing KTMs in the desert, beeping as he passed them.
I think Trevor copied Torture Test. I think Trevor did. This is not original idea in that kid's head. Okay. I know the Torture Test guy. I actually tried to get him to do stuff for Dirt Bike Test, but he decided he was going to go the route of buy me a coffee before anybody thought that was cool. It's hard to make a buck in this industry. What is dumb if KX something to say?
Says, funny how he has to wait for the 2 strokes to continue when they fall in front of him or them. Fall in front of them on the rock gardens. Yeah, honk at them. Get out of the way when you keep falling in front of me.
and he wants us to do the DRZ 4S next time. So Jay Brady is rolling. Joe Relin says, humor a free bike to race. That sounds jealous to me. Sounds jealous getting a free bike. Well, you know what? Joe Loreen, or whatever your name is, go start a motorcycle testing website and get. Actually, if we had more subscribers, Trevor could do more of this. If you Joe didn't subscribe, you should subscribe to our videos right now, and like this one or whatever, Trevor's video, you should subscribe, and then we get more pull, and then Trevor gets more free bikes to go jack up and race for free. What does Drange Stream Mark say?
Says, I bleed green. Anytime I drop my Cowie sport bikes, I just jack them up and
pick them up
and ride them. LOL. 94 Ninja 500.
He's just like listing off every sport bike he ever had. I'm hoping that at some point I get in my life where I have plenty of time to go on and watch other people's videos, and then I'm going to list off all of my bikes. I'm going to start with 2007 Husaberg 650 FE, and then I'm going to put a comma, and I'm going to go 2002 Husaberg 650 FX. Yeah, okay. What does Boost say?
Says, a lot of these guys would be faster if they stood more, sitting down while riding over rocks and going across deep ruts. It's wild. LOL.
I was amazed at how much they were riding with their feet off their foot pegs, like just feet in the air. Like you should. Have you seen this video yet?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. And then you just had to turn it off because it makes you want to, like, slit your wrists. I don't know. I mean, not because of Trevor, right?
No.
I just got pissed off he was honking his horn all the time, just like those other guys. And then Brian Golly says, I know guys that did well racing a 70s DR200 Honda. Do you think there's a typo in there? I got to look at the keyboard and see how close the X and the D are. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Okay. XR200 Honda. I don't know. Drange. I have a hard time spelling, don't I? Almost as hard as you have a time reading, because
hard.
Their names are horrible. People used to give Logan crap because he couldn't read. I mean, he could actually read. It's just hard to read your English that you write in when you're commenting on YouTube. So go ahead.
I really wish they would bring the KLX 450 from Australia. They used to sell them there, but didn't.
So we had a KLX 450 for a while here in the States. It didn't sell very well, and it wasn't street legal, so that makes it a little bit difficult to get in here. But yeah, so I think Kawasaki probably did the market research and didn't make sense. Let's see. There's a lot of other comments in this. We're going to kind of skip back to this. I'm going to see if there's any good ones that we have coming in here. These are all the comments we get on our YouTube video. So even if you comment on this show, it will pop up in this feed that we get here. And and then we will talk about them on this show. What does Pervy K say?
I wonder how well a placement difference the bike would have done with a secondary throttle plate removal. That 5 to 7K RPM dump in the power really kills the performance for a lot of situations. That said, still cool to see, and you did a good job out there. Haha, super frustrating seeing folks blocking the way for sure.
I had to remind Trevor after this video, because I'm just like that I rode a KLX 300 in the Incas Rally in Peru and overalled the rally. And Trevor couldn't even make a top 20 finish in a district hare and hound. So pretty sure it's a lot about the rider, not the bike. Yeah, because the bike is a capable machine. What does Chuck Yeager say?
Says, it's the man, not the machine. But I bet your ass it's busted now.
I don't think it was that bad. There's in the video, he kind of shows all the dings in the skid plate and stuff like that. Big Steam says, "Oh man, I'm getting so annoyed by these guys that are clearly slowing you down in the technical bits, especially ones who drop their bikes and look like they just took their time setting back up, not letting you buy after. Is that normal for this kind of racing? In a lot of mountain bike racing, the etiquette is to let the faster rider pass you when you can, under the idea that if they caught you, they must be quicker, and if you win, it should be because you are faster, not because you can block the best." It's a good question. Tim, if I can get you back in here, because what do you think about blocking? How can I gotta change something here real quick to fix this back? What do you like? Did you want to, like, today when we were riding and I was blocking you the whole time when we were riding? Did you want to like run me over, or what was the?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. Here we go. There's Tim. In racing, like, there's times when you, especially, if you're just trying to stay out in front, you're going to do a little bit of blocking, but like what's the etiquette?
Well, like what he's saying, it's different. Well, because he's saying like mountain biker etiquettes move over, but that's more like sprint enduro style where, yeah, dirt bike sprint enduro, if the guy behind you catches you, you move over more than if everyone starts on the same row.
Okay. So it kind of depends on the type of racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you start at different times, like, so for instance, like in rally, you start a minute or two behind, you're not going to try to like dust the guy out the whole time, so that they can't get by if they get up close to you.
Oh.
You're talking to racers here, and we're all going, well, I don't know. That's how I beat Peter Hansel on a stage in the Nevada rally. I knew which way the dust was blowing.
Yeah, you're gonna run
the
the
road to ride.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just, if they're right on, if they get right on your ass, like right on you, then yeah, you let it up. But like if you can keep them back in the dust, that's a whole different thing. But think about like in national enduros and stuff, you're on single track trails and you're starting at spaces. So if a guy catches you, he's made a minute on you.
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, it's kind of like yield, because in reality, it's probably better for your time too, because you can kind of see the lines they take and how they're what they're doing different to make up that time on you. So I think it really depends kind of on the situation. What do you say, Tim?
I see. Where is that? Gosh dang it! I don't know how this works. There's a Nevada.
Oh, San Felipe Bob says hi. He says, Tim,
rally
team
trophy up there. I just thought of that.
Yeah. Oh, behind me?
Oh, behind
On
me.
the screen?
No,
Behind you?
Behind me. You were W45 at one point. That's weird.
Yeah, this is before I had my sex change to be a man. Let's see here. Yeah, I thought there was another question there that came in the chat, but there isn't. I'm going to go over here. More YouTube comments. We're not going to put them up on the screen. Let's see. Kawasaki KLX 230 Sherpa S ABS riding impression. What does John Babcock say?
Says, for people in Detroit, it's better to have a trailer and haul one somewhere, and have another street bike like a 650 or 750 for everywhere else. There are no trails here and no roads we can use to get to the trails there that are 50 to 50 miles per hour. Betting there are on YouTube channels showing off-roading, such as the channel that are based in the metropolitan Detroit area also.
So now I'm starting to think that my channel is not talking to the right people, because this guy lives in a city, and what does Mark Mountain Biker tell him?
Lots of reasons to live somewhere else.
Yeah. This is why I live in Valley of the Dirt People, because I ride my dirt bike. I prioritize what's important to me. Let's see, we got some other. We had a discussion on the show. Tim, I'm going to ask you this question. What is the best dirt bike ever made?
XR650 R.
R. Okay. Lion Z disagrees with you. He says KTM 500.
No.
He says he owned a 06 525, a 13 500, and he plans to buy a 2025 soon. He's stuck in the past. But I've ridden every gen since the 02 520. My favorite hard enduro bike is still the Freeride 350F, but I chose the 500 because it can truly do it all, even in hard enduro. Jay Clark and I had this discussion, and the XR650 did come up in the discussion, but my argument for the KTM 500, even though this show is brought to you by Yamaha, where you could buy a WR450 that is faster than a KTM 500. I'll just say that right now because it's true. The reason I picked the KTM 500 is if I wanted to make it into an XR650, I buy a seat concept seat. I put in a Chirby's 5-gallon gas tank on it. I go up one tooth in the counter shaft, and I've now made this bike into an XR650. Believe it or not.
Not.
And that's what I'm riding down in Baja when I go riding down there. I'm riding an XR650 that just happens to be orange, and it's fuel injected, and it has electric start. So you take your kick-starting, carbureted, really nice plush seat. You just love that seat.
Did I tell you I have a YZ125 back there?
Yeah, made by Yamaha, the best sponsor that we have on the show right now.
The other best motorcycle ever made.
It's a fun motorcycle. Let's see. Guy Mimoda says,
Those rocky sections aren't something I'd take at my age and skill level, but it's interesting to watch. I've been putting off from buying a CRF 300L Rally due to all the negative suspension comments. I was going to get the KLX and add a bigger tank and maybe a seat, but I'd really rather get the Rally. This video is making me give the Honda another look. These guys wish I was still your age. Enjoy it while it lasts. I'll be gone before you know it. Trust me.
he'll not be gone. It said it'll be gone before you know it.
It'll be gone.
Yeah, so I can see Nolan fading over here. It's getting past his bedtime. A little late for the kid. Yeah.
10 o'clock my time.
10 o'clock your time. Yeah. So he's deciding between a Honda and a Kawasaki and those little enduro bikes. Let's see. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday number 266. This is Jimmy and your questions, and this is the episode with unicorns. What does Fred Burris 526 say? Don't bother me. I'm just going to be patting myself on the back. So go ahead.
Been away from the show for a while. Best moto info on YouTube.
Well, you got it right there. Yep. Slap Happy Chappy 69 says,
Cut the fucking horn.
Okay. Yeah. Kevin Hanlon says,
Wasn't dumb at all. I'm thinking of selling my DRZ 400s for a KLX or CRF 300L. Not for racing, but your test was great, even for us dual sport riders.
I'm glad the dual sport force is joining behind Trevor. He doesn't know it. So Trevor should actually do the Nora on a probably a Yamaha WR125. I think maybe I could hook him up. Do you think he can navigate?
I bet he could.
You think so? Okay. Western Tuner says,
Do it again on a KLR 650.
What does Shot A Austin say?
Build it up and try it again.
Okay, here's the thing about building up a KLX 300. Don't. It's like once it's just like that's just like putting lipstick on a pig. It just ride it like it is. Maybe you can do a couple little mods that are really specific to your needs, but if you start doing this, you're going to be chasing a money pit that's not going to get any better. If you start outperforming that bike in some way, shape, or form, look at a more performance-oriented motorcycle. I can't say this enough. I see these guys spend $10,000 on a KLX 300, a Honda CRF 300, one of these kind of trail bikes and stuff, and they end up at something that's half of something they could have bought, in a different brand, a little more competition-oriented bike. It's a lot easier at that point. I love that you start with this bike and you get the experience and you build and you get to the point where it's like, hey, I need a little bit more. That's the point you buy something that's a little bit more and detune. Don't try to increase the performance of something that doesn't have it, because you're going to have a long road ahead of you and realize it was a very difficult thing. Big Steam says,
What's the reason for hitting the horn so much? Occasionally it seems like it's altering other riders you're behind. But most of the time, no one is close to you, especially odd when the guys are putting those ribbons on and you're just laying on them, laying on the horn. It's just loud noise.
I'm calling Trevor right now. We're going to have a discussion with him. I think he's ruining the image of Dirt Bike Test by, he's not going to answer. He's smarter than that. It's also past his bedtime, I think. We'll see what happens.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh, hold on.
The person
I'll leave
you're
a
trying to
message.
reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Trevor, I'm going over the YouTube comments on Dirt Bike Test's YouTube page, and it appears that you honked the horn too much. And that triggered a reaction from the HR department here at Dirt Bike Test, where we need to have a serious discussion about your horn honking behavior at races, which is totally illegal in AMA competition, if you didn't know. So with that, make sure you call us first thing in the morning before you come to the office. See ya. Okay. That was Trevor Hunter's phone, by the way. Let's see if we got. There's a lot of comments on that thing. If this video gets more views than one of my videos, I think I'm gonna have to just quit. So let's see. Lots of stuff here. He's got a. I think he's gonna be a Kawasaki influencer here. Pretty soon. A lot of videos. A lot of things. A lot of comments. Yeah. Oh, wait. Here, hold on a second. Jeremy Franklin. What does Jeremy Franklin say? And he's talking about my Tour of Idaho video. I just thought I'd bring this up.
Says, just watch this again. Great video and looks like amazing route.
Yeah. There you go. That's a video I did. Unlike Trevor's. I didn't honk the horn at anybody the whole time. I rode from Utah up to Canada on my KTM 500. And this video has way more likes and views than Trevor's video. I just like to point that out because I don't like to talk about myself that much. But that's what. Mark DeShane is replying to Deese Mitchell. Adam's still awake. Don't know what it has to do with the show. This is why our guy that sent in the CR 450 that won Rooster Endo. This is why he says this show doesn't appeal to him. Because we just go off on tangent and we start wondering if somebody's asleep and all this other stuff. But is the XR650R the best bike ever made? I'm going to have to click over to Tim real quick. He's just shaking his head. Yeah. San Felipe Bob says, I saw a KTM colored Honda once at the Baja Beach Bash. Johnny Campbell was visibly sick. Did you hear about this? So they made orange plastic for a Honda CR450X and put it all on Johnny's bike one night when he was sleeping, just as a joke. Asher Lito says, hey, don't sell your DRZ 400. It's the best bike ever made. I don't have a DRZ 400. Do you have a DRZ 400, Tim? Is that what's in the corner there?
No. We have a Ken Roxon bike.
Oh, you have a Ken Roxon bike.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we've satisfied our goal of going over 2 hours on this show, which is, I don't know why we do this every time, but it seems like it just works. So we're going to start wrapping this thing up. If you have any last-minute questions, you have about 20 seconds to get them in the chat as I start thanking again all the sponsors that help us out. Of course, that's Yamaha, that's Fasst Company, that's Climb, DDC. Of course, you missed the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. I didn't see you, whoever you are, you people out there in the internet's world. You could have come to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. You could have raced me in. I was going to hold up my plaque that I have for the winning the go-kart race. No, you couldn't have unless you're in the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. I tried to get Johnny to go. He was busy. Tried to get Kendall to go. He got abducted this year. A lot of people there. Super fun. But if you want to donate, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a Hall of Fame for motorcycle racers, but they also give out shoes to people in need. That's the shoe thing. And so the shoes just like this, they get them, and you can make a donation at hotshoehalloffame.org and help out some people in need and also kind of support a pretty cool thing. Gene Woods is a great guy that does a lot of good stuff for the community and racers in general. What other sponsors? Seat Concepts, Rally Navigator. My buddy Mike was on the show. I just uploaded a bunch of episodes, so you can watch those on YouTube. Go back in the archives, like, click, subscribe, do all the things that you do. And I'm supposed to ask Tim about the sponsor on his hat. Tim, what about the sponsor on your hat? You adjusted yourself, so it's hard to hard to see.
Electrotech powder coating, Escondido, California.
Okay, what about him?
Adam and Denise Mitchell. That's probably not Denise there. I'm betting that's Adam. But well, yeah, actually, because let's see, be double on an XR 650 rather than a KTM 500. Is that what he's saying there?
Okay, so he says, Denise says, not to disagree, if you ever had to ride out double of a remote Baja location, would you rather be on an XR 650 with your buddy or on a KTM 500? Well, judging by my experience, because I ride a KTM 500, I don't have any friends, so I would never be with a buddy, so I'd be screwed. But I think you'd rather be with Tim on an XR 650. But I tell you what, that it's not bad for the guy that's riding the XR 650, but that XR 650 seat does get pretty thin up there near the back, if you're riding double.
Well, I don't know why you'd be riding double, but Adam, I'll ride double with you any day.
Yeah, because the well, it's Denise actually.
Even better.
But we like to call it nut to butt. When you're riding tight on the bikes like that, double. You're riding your buddy that had a KTM 500 that evidently broke because all KTMs break in Baja according to the lore, and the XRs never break. So if you, it's like if a KTM 500 and XR 650 went to a bar. You heard that joke?
No.
No, the bartender would say, you guys should both be riding Yamahas. By the way, this show brought to you by another one of our sponsors, Yamaha. I'd like to thank everybody for joining in. It was really good having Tim Morton from Baja Bound Adventures. Hey, if you want to do the Mint 400, you want to do a factory ride package, call Tim tomorrow at Baja Bound Moto, and they'll set you up. You can show up and be like a rock star. And at the Mint 400, you can be a rock star. You get to, Nolan, what do you get to do? You get to ride your bike down what?
Fremont Street.
Yeah. You can ride right past the kick me in the nuts guy. You can ride right past the chick. You can post-it note with a pin on her boobie. There'll be people that'll be breakdancing. People will make you a little necklace out of ferns, all this stuff. And you're riding your dirt bike right by them down the street on Fremont Street going to the Mint 400. And right after you get done there, you have a good experience. Then you sign up with Tim to do the VIP full factory package at the Nora Mexican 1000. Well, he will get you a fully rally prepped Honda CR450X, and you can do a peninsula run almost like Ricky Brabeck. And I promise you, if Ricky Brabeck, I know this guy a little bit, wearing his hat, if he could do it on any bike, he would do it on a Baja Bound prepped Gen 1 CR450. And I'm not lying. That was like his favorite bike. So, okay. Did I do pretty good there? Last little bit? Tim's ready to go to bed. Nolan's ready to go to bed. Everybody on the East Coast, thanks for joining. I haven't had a lot of Canadians chime into the show yet because I pissed them all off, but I know it's really cold up there.
There's one.
Which one?
At the beginning, the guy was from Alberta.
Oh, he's from Alberta. Okay. Well, it's cold up there. You know about that. You're in South Canada.
Yeah.
Up there in Montana. Mark Daniel says it was a great show. I agree. And he has a seat concept seat on the XR650, and that has a little more thing in the back. So if you have to ride double, you're even in better shape. Tim, anything else you'd like to tell everybody?
I want to say, Nolan, keep at it. Hope you kick ass. I've noticed a couple times. Good rides.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Don't listen.
Hey, you'll see him at the Mint. He'll be here.
Hey,
he'll be there.
I'm not talking to you. Don't listen to Jimmy. Listen to Johnny and your mother and your aunt.
Yeah.
So
Will do.
right on.
Listen
Thanks.
to Preston too.
Little bit to Preston. He gets angry sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. So Nolan, you want to thank your sponsors?
Yeah. I'd like to thank JCR Honda, JLRA, VP, Pirelli, Fly Racing, Alpine Stars,
Jimmy Lewis Off Road.
Jimmy Lewis Off Road.
Yeah. Okay. Because if you want to get the full training,
Jimmy Lewis.
we're gonna water down the flat track for you, and we're gonna slide.
Should.
It's one of these days. So okay, everybody, that's it. I would like to thank Climb for giving me the most awesome riding gear. And hold on a second, one more thing. Scott goggles. I've been wearing these Scott goggles, these Scott Dust goggles. Where are they? It's called the Dust. This isn't it. It was on. I had one on the studio here. They're so bitchin'. That's like they have thicker foam and light sensitive lens and all the cool things. But anyways, yeah, thanks to Scott Goggles as well. So okay, everybody. With that, I'm gonna turn off this show, and you're gonna go to bed, and you're gonna have good, sweet dreams of riding the Nora Mexico 1000 with me in Baja pretty soon. Sign up quick, and then you can get some free lessons. And then with that, we'll shut this show down. So Tim, thank you very much. And we're out of here. Okay, I got to remember how to turn this show off. So we'll see you out in the trail. So you got to give him a thumbs up right now. Okay, now I make this show stop. I don't know which buttons to push anymore. It doesn't